ways, whether it's through helping people out, random acts of kindness, or maybe through physical or mental transformation, or both. What camp did you fall into at school with PE? Were you the one at the front of the line doing a cross-country run, or were you the last one to get picked? I'll let you take a wild guess at which one of those I was. The Oxford Mail this morning, the front of the Oxford Mail says, lockdown exercise drop hits children. Ticking time bomb. Charity launches campaign to get young back to fitness after months of virus inactivity even. The paper says almost 70,000 children could be failing to get enough exercise. An estimated 81% of youngsters in the county haven't done 60 minutes of activity since the start of lockdown. Well, joining me now to chat about this is health and fitness transformational coach in Oxford, Chloe Maxwell. She's on a mission to change this, aren't you, Chloe?
Hi, yes, that's right.
So it's not just a physical thing. For many people like me, it is, that I just grew up at school thinking, I'm rubbish at this, I'm never going to do it again. And I didn't exercise for, properly for years after I left school. I didn't do any form of fitness, And I think that's where a lot of adults are, aren't they?
Yeah, I think you are definitely right there. Unfortunately, when we're at school, there's definitely a focus on the competition element of sport and fitness. And very rarely do you have that experience where you're encouraged to do it because it makes you feel good. And obviously there are the health benefits. But if you imagine that you then have all of these adults that have become, quite far along in their careers, whatever they chose to do, but they didn't understand that actually if you have a practice of movement, which is what I prefer to call exercise, you have a tool that you can take care of yourself with, right? So you can learn how to breathe properly, you can become strong, fit, and it has so many added benefits in terms of making you feel good about yourself and feeling kind of in control, like you can actually take care of yourself. You can become a self-healer, the way I like to think about it.
Right, it's nice. I mean, and the thing is, I see so many people doing what I did, Couch to 5K, and saying, when does it get fun? When does it get enjoyable running? And I'm like, wow, sorry, for me, it hasn't. I don't think it will. I enjoy how I feel after. I enjoy the benefits of it. Will I ever enjoy the running? I don't think so. But that's okay, because it doesn't last very long and then it's done,
Yeah, and I think, you're definitely not wrong there. With a lot of my clients, they're actually very similar. They're like, I don't actually think I get that endorphin rush after I exercise.
Yeah.
And so rather than focusing on, I've just got to do this thing because it's good for me, or I've just got to do this thing because, doing exercise is what we're supposed to do. If you can find something that there is an element of like challenge or, like boxing or dancing or ballet bar, yoga. I mean, there are just so many things out there. And that's, I suppose, what I try and, with the work that I do with the women that I work with, is I try and fuse all of these different elements so that so for one of my clients, she absolutely hates boxing. So we don't do anything anymore to do with boxing, but we do a lot of ballet bar work and Pilates and breath work. And in the end, what I've asked her to do, because she still is like, I'm not sure I'm getting that endorphin rush. I've just asked her to focus on the fact that she should feel proud of herself and just notice what that feels like. That she made time in her already busy day, being a mum of 3, to actually do something that is taking care of her body. That was something that pressed pause to the day, that wasn't tidying and cooking and cleaning and all of the other things that come with being a stay-at-home mum. And she actually took some time out to build her strength, to feel graceful and strong, and do a little bit of mindfulness and breath work. And then going into the afternoon or the rest of the day, feeling a little bit more like, a little bit more oomph, kind of, a little bit more energy,
Absolutely, a bit more energy. I mean, there's been times, obviously I get up at 4:15 every morning. I'm never particularly energetic in the afternoons. And I have felt that, like, oh God, I can't drag myself out there and do it. But you do feel better afterwards. Sorry, everyone, it is true. I wish it wasn't, but it is. Like, you do feel better if you drag yourself out there. Going back to the very basics, I mean, that sort of basic level of something we can all do for free, go for a walk. How effective is that? How, will that make a difference?
I think doing something is better than nothing. starting somewhere is better than not starting at all, right? So if you think about, in terms of like wellness, fitness, having a healthy, balanced lifestyle, it's quite overwhelming because there's this huge list of, oh, you should be doing all of these things. But actually, just as you said, going for a walk and noticing. So I'm all about noticing. And that's how, if you consciously engage with movement or breath work or walking or whatever, you are ideally rewiring your brain so that exercise and movement is a positive thing, and it's a thing that you can do. So it isn't that it is, as you started this conversation, it isn't just for some, it's for everyone. And it's just finding whatever it is, even if it's a walk, that is enough to get you started. Because if you then notice that you felt better, that you cleared your head, you felt calmer, whatever other positive things came up from just taking that 5-minute walk, maybe that then encourages you to think, okay, well, maybe I'll go for a walk. I'll go for a faster paced walk, or maybe I'll, go online and find a couple of movements, because even if it's, 5 minutes, then maybe it's 10 minutes. And then in time you work on building your movement practice and to build into having a little bit of strength and other things in there, and also flexibility work, so then that you have that mobility, so that you're strong and flexible. Because one thing that I'm definitely trying to change is this idea that when you become old, it's sort of, sorry to say this to anyone, that you become sort of decrepit, or that it's painful. And I'm not saying that if that has happened to you, it's your fault, because that's, for some people, there are all sorts of reasons why our body can become quite painful. But from the work that I've done with the women that I work with that are in their 60s and 70s, they have, for some of them, started a movement practice at age 69, and then they have had increased range in their shoulders, in their hips, in their experience of, not being in pain. And it really does make a difference. So I'm a big believer in just finding a little bit each day it's a forward trajectory. It doesn't have to be an uphill battle,
I love the way you talk about it. I mean, it's never too late. It is never too late. My yoga teacher's brilliant. She's in her 60s. She's an inspiration. Chloe, I love the way you talk about it as well. If you want to find out more, chloemaxwell.com. She's doing work in Jericho and elsewhere. Positive movement and benefits on your life. Great to speak to you, Chloe.